Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night from wherever you're watching me from today, on this beautiful day. My name is Nyema Benson. I remain your beautiful host for the Being Nigerian Talk Show. In this show, what we do, we lift the voices of great Nigerians. We are here to tell the stories, to write our own stories by ourselves. We are here to tell you that Nigeria does not have just one single story. We have diverse stories of Nigerians. There are good Nigerians out there, and definitely there are bad Nigerians. And what? All Nigerians cannot be the same. So in this show, we want to empower the narratives and tell you that Nigerians are good people. I hope you're going to stay tuned and go and join us on this roller coaster. As usual, I'm not going to be hosting this show by myself. I'm hosting with the person that I call the Massive Mark with the massive heart. Welcome on board, Massive Mark.
Yes. Yema, another beautiful day to be Nigerian. Another day, Yema. It's good to see you. I'm so excited about today's episode. Viewers, you are welcome. This is Being Nigeria, the spirit of Nigeria. And today it's one very exclusive show. So sit back, relax as we roll on the carpet, the green carpet. Green carpet.
That was nice, Mark. That was nice. And as usual, we have a beautiful guest, someone that I admire. This person makes me feel happy to be Nigerian. Like when I hear his name, I say, yes, I'm proud to be a Nigerian. So when you're going to stay tuned, when we return, we're going to tell you who our guest is for today. Stay tuned.
Nice.
Welcome back, my people. Welcome back. I love you. I know I love you always. And today we have someone that we so much admire. Mark, I don't know how to start, but this man, his name is Honorable Collins Nweke.
Yes.
Please take up, Mark. Please take up.
Yes, because I know you're so excited too, like me. Viewers, we have with us a man, an honorable. You know, when they use that word honorable, some people just use it lackadaisically, but this time it really points to who this man is. Honorable Collins Nweke has been Nigeria. He has been involved in Nigerian issues out here in the diaspora, and in fact, let's not so much. He will introduce himself too. But ladies and gentlemen, we bring to you a man that is really being a Nigerian in the diaspora. Honorable Collins Nweke.
Welcome on board, sir.
Thank you, Nyema. Thank you very much, Massive Mark. I feel honored to be invited to this program. I've watched, a couple of clips, not the full stories, and I must tell you, I loved what I saw. And it is an honor to be your guest this beautiful Saturday. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Honorable, let's have your introduction more to our viewers. From your own mouth, let's hear you introduce yourself, sir. Yes.
Mark, I know you will always push me to do something I don't like doing, but anyway, let's get on with it. It's going to be simple. I'm Collins Nweke, a father, a husband, and a recent granddad.
Wow!
Like you mentioned, I've been in the Nigerian diaspora space for a while. I mean, just like a number of us, when you migrate out of Nigeria, you kind of spend the initial years trying to settle in the new environment, get some education, pursue a career, set up a family, and all of that. And so all of these activities have a way of actually pulling you away from Nigeria, focusing on self. But of course, after a while, you get settled in and you begin to ask yourself, wait a minute, where were we on Nigerian affairs? So basically, that was my story. And so when the period, if I recall well, that the reconnection with Nigeria after being after arriving here and settling down should be about the year 2000, 2001. Incidentally, Nigeria had just returned to democracy, and there was this frantic and genuine effort by the government at the time to actually galvanize Nigerian diaspora. And so I got a call from our ambassador here in Belgium at the time to talk about it and to invite me to be part of it. Since then, we have been on it. And I'm glad to, mention that while the path is, we still have a long path to walk, there have been a number of, accomplishments. For instance, due to some of the efforts, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission is a reality today. This is something that, some of us felt had to be. In some countries, you even have a full ministry in charge of the diaspora. Some of us agitated for it, but of course, we settled for a commission. It is a reality today. NIDO, Nigerians in Diaspora Organization, is also another reality. With those two instruments, I believe that the diaspora story for Nigeria, of which I am, very, very glad to say that I am part of, continues to roll on.
Continues to roll on. Yes, go ahead, Yema. Go ahead.
Your profile is quite. I mean, this is what we stand for. I want to just let the audience know one thing: that Mr. Honorable Collins Nweke was elected by a direct vote in 2012. I mean, that's the great news we like to hear about Nigerians, and that was in Belgium actually, where he was elected to be in the city council. So, sir, we would like to start our question by saying, with your experiences and experiences abroad, what would be honored to have what innovative strategies will you implement to create a lasting impact in your current term? Did you get that question, sir?
Yes, I did, Inyema. Well, my current term, incidentally, is actually running its full course. By January 2025, I would have served out my third term. And, I'm not seeking a re-election. I could if I wanted to. But by that time, by January 2025, I would have been in active party politics here in Belgium for 18 years. So I would imagine that, the more relevant question would be, which innovative approaches or initiatives have I taken, during the last 17 years plus? There are quite a lot, but I can, kind of situate my activities in three major blocks. I mean, my political activities in three major blocks. In my first term, I did social affairs fully. That was my main portfolio. Now, under social affairs, the question you ask yourself is, what are the most relevant initiatives that affect those on the lower rank of the society? Now, by that I mean the most vulnerable, because that is where my interest in politics is. Now, incidentally, the ethnic minorities are actually overrepresented in that vulnerability group. Now, I wasn't, drawn into politics or elected to serve only the interests of, the ethnic minorities or Africans or foreigner community for that matter, because they weren't the only constituency that elected me. I got elected because, the host community believed in me. They believed in what I represent. So there is also a need to actually serve them. But you see, the point is that when people just get by and not necessarily thriving, when people just, survive, that is not good enough for the society. Now, a society that we want to see is one that actually everyone is carried along and everyone is actually not just surviving or just getting by, but actually thriving. And so you ask yourself, what are those things that make people not to thrive? First and foremost, you have high unemployment. Number two, you also have health issues, inequality in terms of access to health and all of that. So those were the two focus areas in my first attempt to ensure, for instance, that child poverty, was dead and buried. So quite a lot of initiatives were taken. For instance, very little things, for instance, ensuring that kids, vulnerable kids, have access to homework support, because when they are able to do their homework, very little things, able to do their homework, reduce incidents of truancy, ensure that little things like, you have your lunch pack, because people skip school because they don't have lunch pack, they didn't do their homework and all that. Those little things that people overlook, those were the focus of my first term. And I'm happy to say that, quite a lot of, structural initiatives from the government, and then also, the NGO, the non-governmental, organizations were actually put in place to ensure that those structures are there to accommodate, the most, vulnerable. So to be more specific, I would say that if I look around and see a couple of, public health centers that are free on delivery to everyone, because you won't believe this, people skip going to hospital just because they do not have the funds to pay the GP, the general practitioner. Now, so there was a need indeed, and it is such health issues that you kind of keep aside because you don't have the funds to finance it. Those are the ones that will degenerate into very, very serious health complications. So we worked hard to ensure that such community health center was in place. It took a while. That's politics for you. It took a while from the moment I first launched the initiative up until implementation. We are talking of about 3 to 4 years, but it became reality, and quickly after that a second one came up, so that people could access those facilities. And then also homework support for kids actually started working well. And then people from the vulnerable group accessing higher education, also became increased as a consequence of some of the initiatives, some of the actions that we took. No, now I can go on and on and on.
Yes,
But
yes, I think
samples
yes,
to
I know.
sense of some of those things that were done at the time.
Well said,
Um,
Honorable
well said.
Collins.
Definitely.
Yes.
Municipal, please,
Uh,
I think I
okay.
want to ask Mr. Honorable Collins a question from what he said. And I also
Mhm.
like to comment that I like that you're very detailed, sir. Your rulership seems very detailed. You were like having segments for each term, for each year.
Good.
For example,
Yes.
you had economic time, social economic time. Yes, there were social diplomacy and all that. I think that's what you're currently on now, social diplomacy.
Mhm.
So, sir,
Mhm.
do you think that this kind of government, like this kind of government, could be implemented in Nigeria? Like the way you're detailed about it and you're focusing on that, following it bit by bit. Do you think it could be implemented in Nigeria? Because I mean, our government seems to be not detailed. Everything is done at once, which is not allowing them to implement their manifesto. So, do
Mhm.
you think it should be implemented here? How detailed? Like you're very detailed. So I like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is doable, and I think it is important for me to add that in my first and second term, I was actually in the opposition. So we were not part of government, and so some of these initiatives that I have enumerated were actually accomplished from the opposition desk. So which
Okay.
means that your opposition has got to be purposeful. You've
Exactly.
got to be very strategic about the issues that you bring up. And then
Mhm.
the strategic communication is also very, very important because
Mhm.
while working from the opposition bench, you
Mhm.
are addressing the constituents that elected those who are in government. And indeed, those issues that you
Mhm.
are raising are issues that are of concern to them. So you have a way of actually governing from the opposition by putting the government in place on the
Mhm.
spot, using some strategies to get their constituents, those that elected them, to be on their case, to pressure them into doing the right things. Now,
Nice.
I think that in Nigeria, these things are possible if only our politicians could be a bit more conscientious, in actually asking themselves the core question: what am I in politics for? Am I in politics to serve my personal interest, or am I in politics to serve the bigger purpose of changing the society? Now, I
Mm.
think that the moment that Nigeria begins to attract the right kind of people that are in politics for the right reasons, those things will indeed begin to happen right in the Nigerian politics as well. So, yes, the answer is yes, it can happen in Nigeria, but it will not happen. It will happen because, the right kind of politicians are actually in place to get those things done.
Mm.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much. Yes, Iyema, thank you also for that question. Viewers, let's say that you can put your questions here directly. So I'm getting questions to Honorable Collins from my WhatsApp. Yes, you can get involved. We have quite a number of people watching now. Get involved. This our own Honorable put it out. Very insightful leadership tips too. So ask your question. I will be glad to share it with him. Honorable Collins, my own question is this. You've done a lot. And in fact, this is close to what she said earlier. We want to know, how do you what are the strategies you have for fostering economic ties between Europe and Africa, particularly as your work with the Belgium, Luxembourg, Nigerian Chamber of Commerce that you are part of? What are those effective economic ties that could be brought in between these two continents? Thank you.
Right. Well, before my time in politics, and to a reduced extent,
Mhm.
I'm a management consultant through my firm Global Village Consult. We actually walk around the deal brokerage in terms of trade advisory services, international marketing intelligence, and all of that we provide to our clients,
Okay.
both in Nigeria who are, seeking a foreign partnership, and also businesses out here in Europe, Belgium, and Luxembourg, to be specific, who are desirous to, entering the African market using Nigeria as a hub. So we provide, services, advisory services to them, and to make it even more specific, the Nigeria, Belgium, Luxembourg Business Forum, which is an annual event that I am opportune to be part of, where we carry out not only trade missions, trade missions in Nigeria, and back here also to Belgium and Luxembourg. We use that as a tool to actually link businesses up, because you see, the world is a global village, like a consultancy firm, depicts. Which means that is an island, the technology, the innovation, the engineering that Belgium, as a small country, even smaller than Lagos State, has developed those technology. They are very, very strong in research and development. They are not developing them only for themselves. They need an outlet, where they can be of service to others. So those recipients in Nigeria that need those things that Belgium and Luxembourg can offer, and Nigerian businesses that need the partnership, we create the link. We just had the 2024 edition, which took place 2 weeks ago here in Brussels, and so we continue to create those economic linkages.
Thank you. Go ahead, Yema.
All right, great, sir. So I've seen some of your essays, and I came across them. One of which is, I think, headquarters and regional chapters operations towards synergy in Nigeria development aspirations. I think that's one of them, 2004. And I would like to ask a question from this. Like, what is the biggest global trends affecting local economics today, and how can Nigeria adapt? Because at the end of the day, as Nigerians, we always want Nigeria to do better. So how can Nigeria adapt to this? Because the future would be big if we have people who are giving us insight from what they have, from their experiences outside. So how can Nigerians adapt?
Yeah, absolutely. Very good question, Nyema. Essentially, Eva is in business today and does not fully comprehend or appreciate the evolving the technological evolution that the world is going through. Who does not understand the dynamics around globalization? Well, that person is actually set up to fail. Now, local production is very, very important, and even those local products are affected by things that are happening, elsewhere. I'll give you two specific examples. In the business forum that we just concluded 2 weeks ago, we had the opportunity of visiting a food processing company out here in West Flanders, my specific constituency. We were, conducted around the facility. To cut a long story short, you will be surprised to learn that up to 30% of the ingredients that are used in the food processing there are actually not from Europe. They are Africa, and Nigeria is part of the countries that supply those things. Now, initially it was set up to service the local the local market, but more and more they are expanding up to places like Nigeria. They are in Brazil, and they continue to expand. The story they were selling to the Nigerian delegates is that, yes, this operation that we have out here in Belgium, you could set up exactly the same production in Nigeria, and they are there to facilitate with machinery, with transfer of know-how, and they can also be a symbiotic relationship between them and the Nigerian firm in terms of ingredients and other items that they use. Now I gave that example simply to actually drive that over the years they have developed some technological know-how and advancement, and these are things they are ever ready to place at the disposal of Nigerian businesses that are ready to embrace those. So technology is important, research and development is important. Gone are the days when you have tons of money and then you believe that once you put the money there it runs your errand for you. No, those days are gone and buried. Lack of research, feasibility studies and all of that would mean that you could be a billionaire today and then you end up with no money at all tomorrow because you have put the money in an area that has not been very well researched. So these are the sort of messages that we also try to bring to but anyway, when I do, we kind of preach to the to the converted, because they understand those dynamics. We only try to facilitate them by linking them up with the right to help them achieve their goals.
Wow.
All right. Right. So,
Yeah.
Master, please, I want to ask Honorable
Go
colleagues,
ahead.
do you
Go
think
ahead.
Nigerians
Go
are
ahead.
ready with your experiences so far with them, trying to link them up with this all the strategies? Do you think they are ready? Has there been any adaptation? Are they anyhow ready? Just a yes or no? I don't know, because I want Nigeria to be ready for this, and I don't even think they're ready.
Yes, absolutely, yes. They are ready, but they need facilitation. Facilitation on two fronts. Front number one is from the government of Nigeria, creating the right incentives and actually, what in Nigeria that or a phrase that you know very well, creating the enabling environment. Okay, that can only come from government. And then also the private sector has its role to play. For instance, we had the president of Abuja Chamber of Commerce that was the keynote speaker at the event. So the organized private sector has its own role to play. And then the core private sector, consultancy outfits like ours, that actually facilitate them, guide them through the direction, and as the case may be, actually hold their hands to some of these firms and actually get them, to begin to work together. So yes, they are supremely ready, but they need facilitations from all corners to enable them succeed.
Wow, thank you very much, Honorable. Yes, Honorable, the program is Being Nigeria. Viewers, Being Nigeria is what we're running, and we're here with Honorable Collins Nweke. Let's ask this one a little more on the ground. How is it for you being a Nigerian with all the stereotype? Nigerians did this, when one little fraction of our people do something, they rub it on all of us. How have you been able to go through with all you're doing and with those stereotypes? How have you been able to overcome those challenges?
This may surprise you, but my attitude and my approach towards those stereotyping is simply ignore them. Now, I do not have the time to begin to pick stones with whatever any is saying about Nigeria or as a country or Nigerian individuals. No, I just focus on doing what needs to be done. And doing it, you actually show them the other side. Now, if they choose, those who mean well, those who criticize Nigerians genuinely, and then eventually begin to see good things coming out of Nigeria, will definitely change their opinion, change this. Now, those who do not mean well, who will criticize Nigerians no matter what, whatever you show them, whatever other positive show them, is of no consequence to them. So why do you have to bother about them? Now, the strategy, as far as I'm concerned, is focus on things that are productive. I will be the first to tell you that not all Nigerians are good, but tell me a country in this world where all its citizens are good. So I end up with that phrase that what is right and good about Nigeria are so much, and in fact enough, to actually true what is bad about Nigeria. And so, why do we have to focus on the negatives? No, we should focus on the positivities, and those that mean well actually see those positive things and fall in line. So that's my approach.
That's your approach. Inyema, let's do this little thing before we go. Honorable Collins, there is a viral patriotic video clip we're doing. And see this. You also be part of it. See this one we have here.
I am a Nigerian and I am a good person. What about you? I am a Nigerian and I am a good person. What about you?
Okay. So, Honorable Collins, we want you to also add to this thing. You are obviously a good man doing your bit in our community. Let's have you say those lines. You're a Nigerian, da 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 da. What about you? Let's hear you, Honorable Collins.
Am I allowed to reward it? To use my own wordings?
Okay, go ahead. Anyhow, good. Yes, use your own wordings.
Good. I am an objective Nigerian, and I am not positive. I am not negative. I am just a Nigerian, and that should be good enough. What about you?
Nice. Listen, do this again. Do it again. Do it again. we want the crowd to. That was you just brought it.
So I think we should bring him up so we can really see his face.
Yes. Bring him up. Sorry, bring him up. No, you didn't. Okay, let him do. Sorry. Let's have you on the queue. Okay, there you go.
I am an objective Nigerian. I am not positive. I am not negative. I focus on doing the right thing. And what about you?
Powerful.
Beautiful. And do you know there was something else that Honorable Collins said just now before this? He said that there are things that are bigger things that are good about Nigeria. I don't know how you put his words. And the things that are better in Nigeria are bigger than the things that are bad. I mean, how did you put that, sir? I want to crop that and say on the Green Nigerian 2024 by Honorable Collins. Nweke.
Well, how I put it is that there is nothing wrong with Nigeria that cannot be corrected with what is right with Nigeria.
Okay.
Definitely. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you so much, sir. That was really nice. I mean, people getting to hear that Honorable Nweke is saying that there is nothing wrong that cannot be corrected. I don't know how you put that, but I think people heard that. So it was really nice having you on the show. And don't forget, people, to subscribe to the Be Nigerian Talk Show. What the show does is to inspire, is to uplift, the spirit of Nigeria. You can see our guest today is doing so well in the diaspora. I mean, for people to trust him that well to lead a political view in a foreign land, it means that Nigerians are indeed great people. Nigerians are indeed good people, and we are successful. We are bright. We are smart. Like, who does this? And if you get to read the profile of Nweke, he was elected without vote, a direct vote. I mean, that shows that he's a credible person, that he's a good person before he can be given that kind of a vote. So, people, tune into the Be Nigerian Talk Show. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's keep this going. And don't forget to say and tag me, tag the Be Nigerian Talk Show that I am a Nigerian, I'm a good person. What about you? See you same time next time Saturday. Have a good evening.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Seven made them